We start off with a hot take here, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the show at some points even beat Interspecies Reviewer. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. There is only, one known episode left of this entire show, as far as we know, and I am going to be legitimately sad that this thing ends, because by far, it has some of the most wild in humor, the most wild in stuff to really just show off in a show, period, and to keep it very much a stack, I am all the way here for it. This is, again, the type of show I've been wanting to see Japan make for so damn long, and I am so glad to witness this and to record my thoughts about it for a lot of these damn episodes that has came out. So that is just how I feel when it comes to it, and it's just amazing. But let's really talk about this though. There was so many dicks and so many penises across the screen that literally I can't show you not anything because of how wild it was, right? I can zoom in certain locations, I can give you the play-by-play, but that's really about it. I can't show you much of anything because it was just a dick bonanza out here, right? That's why you call it, that's why DK exists, Dick Kong. That's exactly why it is. Dude, they basically start out their plan, obviously trying to save Nanase, right? And obviously, we want to save the whole girl. You know, the homegirl is actually really good, and she's actually peak material. Not gonna sit here and lie. But when it comes down to it, though, we essentially gotta save her from, obviously, this bitch-ass guillotine ship, because obviously, if we don't do it, you know, she's gonna get her whole, you know, folds opened up in a way by another man that we obviously don't want to necessarily see. So they said, you know what, we're going to take the duck cosplay, we're going to take the duck mascot, and we're going to use that bitch and try to blend into the environment. Spoilers, it didn't really work out that well. And essentially, everybody kind of got, I guess, in a slight way, kind of, you know, trapped in a predicament where they got hoed. Like the lolly one basically got revealed to Ray that, you know, essentially that she's working with the NS, I think that's the name of the people or the group or whatever. So she was a bit shocked by that, which also their commanding officer lady, whoever the hell this woman is, essentially was just like, you people are ass. You FS people don't know shit about actually trying to preserve the pervert law. And Ray trying to explain herself only for her to get dick smacked with the damn dildo of that they've been, you know, trying to fight against or whatever. And it's just like, bro, if I had a dime for every time I've seen an anime character, specifically in an anime, that has gotten smacked in the face with a dick, I would have 2 dimes. It's not a lot, but it's crazy that it happens here and also with Redo a Healer. It just is hilarious that dick smacking is just a crazy thing that can happen no matter the context. It's just crazy. But we're not done with the dick train. No. We're nowhere near that. When it comes down to it, this man, Jinosuke, got trapped by a whole bunch of FS people, and obviously they're about to gang up on him and run his pockets. But essentially, they had something else run into them, and essentially anytime they stepped on that little field that they were on, which was basically surrounded by dick landmines, yeah, it goes straight up into the coup, and then, you know, it's GG's for you, right? It was just a gush fest. It was an amazing gush fest the entire time. Really, a lot of the fighting was a gush fest when it comes down to it, right? Because high key, stepping on these sperm mines is a bit crazy to kind of call that, but that's what it was. And literally everybody was just getting bodied in every sort of direction. It was just what it was. Then at the very same time, you have Fumino basically sniping people, but not with bullets. No, you were sniping them with actual, not even kidding, ricochet ass having dildos. Literally ricocheting to different objects, only for it to go right up inside the fine shit number 322, and that's essentially what happened, right? Other homegirl was like, what was happening again? Another whole ass big ass dildo bullet come through, hit her right in the coo, and then it ends up just being a ricochet ass effect, and essentially making her gush crazy. It just, this show knows how to do comedy. This show knows how to make shit funny, knows how to actually be supreme in what it wants to do, and it's just amazing. Again, This is again the show I've been waiting for so long. Honestly, again, I have to once again give the show its props where it's due. They know how to keep people entertained. They know how to basically show off the most degenerate shit possible, while also still consistently giving you a story that is not necessarily bad at all and is actually pretty consistent with what the show is trying to do. And again, I love that a lot. Wish more shows could take this route in an ecchi environment and do something kind of like it. Like, yeah, all the lewd jokes, all the crazy raunchy stuff that's happening, it's taken seriously in a way where it's like this. It's doing things in this sort of way, and it's amazing, right? It definitely is. But that's not all that obviously happens in this episode. We haven't gotten to the two main events. Outside of the big buff bitch ends up swallowing a whole pink dildo, we have to talk about essentially the fight with Jinosuke and Ikuko. Ikuko, baby girl, the fine blue shit when it comes down to it. Yes, by far, finest shit in this entire show, if I'm gonna be honest. But when it comes down to it though, essentially they had their run back, they had their whole rematch, and essentially Ikuko want her get back, and so did Jinosuke for different reasons. And basically what ends up happening was actually a pretty decent fight scene. Like, it wasn't crazy to the wall, but it was pretty decent. I'm actually kind of surprised at how decent it was for this type of show. And essentially, yeah, they were just kind of throwing blades to dildos, and you know, that's just how it was. And then Ikuko basically about to stab this man, but obviously Jinosuke prepared for it this time and essentially had another sword in the shape of a dick anal bead kind of thing, I guess. I don't even know. And essentially broke the damn sword, talking about some, oh, your old ass sword blade and all that shit from old ass Japan. Yeah, get out of here with that shit. Can it handle 2 vibrating dildos? And essentially broke the hell out of the blade, which, sure, okay. But then at the very same time, it still wasn't enough, because Ikuko tried to pull that whole ass, ooh, listen to me, I have the sexy voice, which I actually do, but honestly, do you want to hear this in your ear all night? No, the hell you don't, and I'm gonna make you hard, and we're gonna go for it. And so Jinosuke looked like he about to fold again, which granted, it's Ikuko, I would fold immediately. That's just how it is for me. If she trying to howl my ass for some dick, that's just how it is. I fold as well. My ass sound like Corey.
Guys, you think I'm about to fall for the oldest trick in the book? You're trying to seduce your way in, lady? You succeeded. Come on in. Let's escape.
He gave her something hard. It ends up spewing out some weird ass sticky substance that blinds her, but then essentially with her being bent over ready for the taking, he says, you know what, you can take this anal stick bead stick thing, whatever, and shove it up your own ass. And boy oh boy did he do that, and made it even worse with the vibration power, which of course he did. He wanted that maximum power, and that's just how it was. And so yeah, Ikuko was defeated. Rest in peace, the fine shit. Did the absolute best fine shit in this entire show. But obviously Jinosuke had to go out his way to just straight up, you know, go ahead and try to find the Nase, which he ended up doing after bodying like a whole bunch of other hoes and shoving more dildos up their ass or vagina or whatever the hell. And essentially found the Nase, ends up just, you know, being apologetic towards what happened to them when they were kids, and essentially, you know, obviously leading into the main event of things, which is freeing the Nase after confessing their love to each other. And essentially, yeah, she basically just untied this man, saw this big giga dick, and essentially kissed that thing and was very much ready for the taking. And so she lifted up her whole ass body, arching herself for her man, and sex ensued. Pretty much breaking the binds immediately as well. So yeah, once again, if this show does not get an uncensored version in any shape or form and capacity, I will actually lose my mind. But when it comes down to it though, it was amazing. It was really good. It went on longer than what I thought it was going to go, but it was still quite peak. Quite peak. If it will be even more peak if it didn't have the stupid duck censorship on there. If it didn't have that, it would have been the peakest thing I would have ever seen. And so now since Nanase is free, all we need to really do is beat Toka and just kind of dip off. But essentially all they really want to do, or more so what Genosuke wants to do, is somehow save Toka. So he's gonna go ahead and, you know, capture Nanase back. You already got Nanase back, but now they want to go ahead and try to get Toka into the fold as well, which makes a lot of sense, because let's be honest, do we really want to see the entire police force of the FS kind of get dipped off and getting hoed by the show? I don't really think so. I'm pretty sure people would love to see them kind of join in and actually be a part of the team, or at least be a part of them in some shape and form, right? So that's just how it is for me, and I would assume a lot of other people. But yes, this show is the show that just keeps on freaking giving. It is just amazing no matter what they end up doing. Hell, there was even a moment where I forgot to mention where basically Genosuke was trying to get on the damn ship or whatever, and essentially you had this whole ass crazy ass FS member trying to run his ass over with a whole ass truck. Said, oh, you hit one of our FS members with a truck, so now your ass is gonna go ahead and get isekai, boy. Only for fine shit with the purple hair come through and just straight up ram that same damn truck with a whole ass like crane or some shit. It was really good. It's very damn good. I am going to be devastated because I got nothing else to watch outside of, I guess, catching up with older shows, but I'm gonna be devastated when this show absolutely goes off the air. And it just goes to show you that fan service can be very much good, which I guess I'll rant about the fan service thing just a slight bit before I end this whole talk of the episode. Because obviously people have been talking about this whole thing with fan service. There was like a Twitter post by like Anime Japan or something like that, whatever account it was, basically saying that, you know, anime is nothing without its fan service, and it's 100% true. Just in general, if fan service doesn't really exist, let's be real, it doesn't really feel like there's much you can like do. Fan service is by far one of the best ways of its, or at least I won't say best way, but like one of the top primary ways of how to express things. You can't remove that shit. That's a part of what anime genuinely is, and by removing something like that, you don't get boundary pushing, boundary crossing things like Interspecies Reviewer, like Nukitashi at all. And the fact that people actually want to basically ban that is kind of crazy. And it's like if you took Disney out of Kingdom Hearts. It's not Kingdom Hearts anymore. It genuinely isn't, right? Do we care for Disney worlds? Some people do, some people don't. But ultimately, you can't take out what the formula was. Otherwise, it's not necessarily going to be anything that works. What you're really asking for is to have all these crazy ideas of shows and put it into Western format. But here's the thing, the West will never make something as good as what anime has always been, because they don't necessarily like it in any shape and form. They like to do their own thing, and their own thing honestly sucks. And basically what people try to do is try to change what anime is, try to force it to be different, or at least be the same as what they watch, and ultimately it's not gonna work, or at least it shouldn't work in any shape or form or capacity. And I hope, and really hope, more Japanese people that sees the news and censorship and all this sort of stuff really do fight back when it comes down to things like this, because easily things like Nukitashi would never exist again if, you know, banning and censorship and stuff like that legitimately wins. Things like an Interspecies Reviewer would never exist whatsoever. Even the most basic shows that doesn't have things like this would never exist if it's gonna lead it to censorship, and Japan really bends that one true need that they have left. So to keep it very much a stack, I want fan service to live. I want ecchi and the Borderline H and a lot of these shows to really exist, and people to keep creating those. Because like I said before, this is the only genre I feel like that truthfully still pushes boundaries of what can and cannot be shown in really anything on TV. And at this point, after seeing what Nukitashi can do, I'm not gonna lie, what boundary can you not push? Where can you not go, right? What can you not do for an actual story or of a show or whatever in anime? Because basically this just shows me that anything is possible, and I absolutely love that to bits, and that's how fiction really should be. But that's really all I want to say for this one, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Catch Up is available as well. And until then, it's been your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.